Extended smiles to each and everyone present here. अशें सांगता आमच्या वांजेन in James 1 verse 17. हर एक उत्तम दान आणि हर एक संपूर्ण देणे ते सर्गिता म्हज्या मुखार बसले समेस्ता आज उत्तम आणि संपूर्ण because every good and perfect gift comes from above. We are not only good, we are perfect. And since yesterday we celebrated International Women's Day, Antarashtriya Striyan Sudis, I congratulate you with this note of making ourselves and reminding ourselves that we are perfect and good. So with this note, I again welcome you, each one of you present here, along with our religious and the secretary and vice president of parish council, as well as the chief guest, the guest of honor, and the convener of all commissions. We just heard a beautiful sentence from the word, so this calls for a prayer. Prayer is a communication with God, they say, whether it is said or sung. So I want all of you to please rise for the prayer. Samestani eka gitak ube raunche, and I also want you to switch off or at least put your mobiles on vibrate mode. Even if it was for 2 minutes, this is our time with God. गायता काळीज मुझे सोमिया सौभाग्याची तुझ्या सर्व रसना देता सास सोमिया ओढा वैभव तुझ्या सूर्यो आणि सब अंतरणी तारा गायता तुझी गीत साक्षीदारा कासे महिमा तुझी दर्याची लारा सर्व रचना वाकरता तुझा साक्षीदारा गायता काळीस मुझे सोमिया सौभाग्याची तुझ्या सर्व रसना गीता सास सोमिया मोडा वैभव तुझ्या. आम्ही सर्वांनी देवान खुद्द आमकां शिकयल्लें प्रार्थना दोनी हात जोडून या दोनी हात उबारून ते म्हणजे आमच्या बापा सखेच्या तुझे नाव पवित्र जा, तुझे राज आमकां तुझी खुशी सरकार सदा तशीच संवसारांत आसा. आमचो दिसपट्टो ग्रास आज आमकां दी आनी आमी आमचे सुकलेले बक्षिता तशें आमची पदकां भोगोस आनी आमकां ताळेन पडोवंक दिवं नाका पूण वायटांतले आमकां निवार. मरी म्हाजे वसत आमी मागची नमान बरी कृपेन बरले समी तुजे संगता स्त्रियां भितर तूं सदें आनी सदैव फळ तुजे खुशीचें जेजू. महिमा बापाक आनी पुताक आनी पवित्र आत्म्याक. सर्वांनी आपली बसका स्वीकार करची. हांवें जस्ट सांगलें मात्र इंटरनॅशनल विमेन्स डे सगळ्या संवसारार जावं पुरो काल संभ्रमला. आज संभ्रमतात या दिसांनी संभ्रमन आसतात पूण आमच्या फेरगेची स्त्रियो ती फर्स्ट क्लास फर्स्ट आनी फर्स्ट क्लास बेस्ट जावन आसा. देखून ह्या फर्स्ट क्लास फर्स्ट आनी फर्स्ट क्लास बेस्टाक समेस्ताक आमी ताळयो दिया. आनी आय रिक्वेस्ट ऑल द मेन यू प्लीज clap for all the women. There are few men chosen here. They जावन आसा ताळयो वायटाक मात दिसतात आनी एक आमचो सूट बोटार आसा गुरकार ते सोड मात कोणी मेना. ऑफकोर्स अराउंड देर आर बट Thank you one and all for this first class best women here around. तुमकां नमन आनी म्हजे प्रणाम. केदाळे स्टेजीर चेअर आसतात. आज स्टेजीर दुसऱ्यांच आसा, इल्ली चेअर सकयल आयल्यात. बट दॅट डजंट मेक द value of the people sitting here low. कित्याक म्हळ्यार जो कोण हांगा बसतात ती खास जावन आसात. ती इन्वायटेड फॉर अ स्पेशल ओकेजन, म्हळ्यार स्पेशल जाल्ल्यान तांकां सिटी मुखार त्यो सजोवन दवरल्यात. सो हांव मुखार आपयतां ताचे पयलें, तांकां मुखार आपोवचे पयलें हांव मुखार आपयतां मल्लिकट्टा 2 वाड्याच्या गुरकाराक मिस्टर ऑडी रेगो. कित्याक हे इव्हेंट ऑर्गनायज करीचे जाल्यार ताणें ह्या मल्लिकट्टा 2 वाड्याचे गुरकारपण न्ही, ह्या इव्हेंटाची गुरकारपण ताणें काण गेल्लें. ही ताचीच आयडिया जावन आसली. देखून हांव मुखार आपयतां मिस्टर ऑडी रेगो, तुमी सर्वांक वेलकम करीचे म्हणून. ऑडी म्हणटा पयलीं आमी चेअरां सोबया मागीर तो वेलकम करता म्हणून. सो हांव मुखार ऑडी तुमी वचून आमच्या खास सेऱ्यांक पयल्यान पयलें जावन आसा आमचो विकार, आमच्या फिरगजेचो मोगाळ विकार फादर वॉल्टर डिसोजा आनी मुखार येवचें. मागीर जावन आसा आमचे चीफ गेस्ट मिसेस फिलोमिना लोबो, ताणी मुखार येवचें. डॉक्टर सारिता लोबो गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर. आनी मागीर जावन आसा आमचो वायस प्रेसिडेंट पॅरिश कावन्सिलर विनोद डिसोजा, सेक्रेटरी पॅसी ब्रिटो आनी तशेंच आमच्या विमेन्स कमिशनाची कन्व्हिनर आनी कोऑर्डिनेटर सिस्टर शुभा. हे प्रोग्राम मल्लिकट्टा 2 वॉर्ड आनी तशेंच बोर्डार तुमी वाचतात विमेन्स कमिशन ऑफ विमेन, कमिशन फॉर विमेन. आमी हातूंत सांगात दिला कोलॅबोरेट जावन हे इव्हेंट आमी आज अशें केलां. दिस इज हाय टी banquet, actually high tea menu. So आता Mr. Odi हांव तुमकां मुखार आपयतां.
सोमेस्तांक देव बरी सांज दिवं. आज हे प्रोग्राम हाय टी मेनू एक एड्युकेटिव्ह प्रोग्राम, नॉट ए कल्चरल प्रोग्राम. मल्लिकट्टा 2 वाडो आनी कमिशन फॉर विमेन हाच्या जोड आश्रयाखाल ह्या हाय टी मेनूक तुमकां सर्वांक स्वागत. आयच्या कार्याचे अध्यक्षपण घेतलां आमचो मल्लिकट्टा विकार मानादी बाब वॉल्टर डिसोजा. फादर तुमकां सर्वांच्या नांवान मोगाचो स्वागत. आयच्या कार्याक मुखेल सेरी जावन आयिल्ल्या मानसीन फिलोमिना लोबो, फॉर्मर डायरेक्टर ऑफ पब्लिक इन्स्ट्रक्शन गव्हर्नमेंट ऑफ कर्नाटका. मॅडम तुमकांय मोगाचो स्वागत. आयची मनाची सैरी जावन आयिल्ल्या मानसीन डॉक्टर सरिता लोबो, HOD ऑप्थॉल्मॉलॉजी फॉर द मुल्लर मेडिकल कॉलेज, हांकांय मोगाचो स्वागत. वेदीर हजर आसा सिस्टर शुभा, कन्व्हिनर ऑफ कमिशन फॉर विमेन आनी सांगत आसा सुपिरियर बेथनी गव्हर्नमेंट बेंदूर, हांकांय सिस्टर तुमकांय स्वागत. आयचे कार्याचे मुखेल व्यक्ती मानेसीन बेलिशा रेगो, पेस्ट्री चेफ, हांकांय मोगाचो स्वागत. वेदीर हजर आसा फिरगज गौडी परिषदेचो उपाध्यक्ष मान्य विनोद डिसोजा, हांकांय आमच्या सगळ्यांचो मोगाचो स्वागत. सांगत आसा वेदीर हजर आसा गौडी मंडळीची कार्यदर्शी मानसीन पॅसी ब्रिटो, हांकांय स्वागत. आज आमच्या मध्ये हजर आसात बेंदूर फिरगेचे सहाय्यक याजक मानादी बाप लॉरेन्स कुटिनो आणि मानादी बाप विवेक पिंटो. फादर तुमकां दोगांयची मोगाचो स्वागत. आयच्या कार्याचे मेन स्पॉन्सर जावन आसात आयच्या कार्याचे मेन स्पॉन्सर जावन आसात मानेस मायकल एस बॅप्टिस्ट आनी कुटाम बेंगलोरू हांकां आज ते हजारनाथ जाल्यार तांकां ह्या कार्याक हांव स्वागत करता. को स्पॉन्सर जावन मानेस जॉन डिसिल्वा आनी कुटाम कुवेट तांकांय हांव मोगाचो स्वागत करता. अनेक को स्पॉन्सर जावन मानेस अशोक श्रेष्ठ आनी कुटाम हांकांय मोगाचो स्वागत. ते हजार आसा ती अशोक श्रेष्ठ आसा ती हांगासर मोगाचो स्वागत. श्रेष्ठ हजार आसा. आणि हांगासर हजाराच्या वाड्या घरानो बेंदोर फिरगस घरानो दुसऱ्या फिरगेची जावन आयिल्ल्या तुमकां समेस्तांक मोगाचो स्वागत. आमची MC ब्लॉसम आनी आमची एसिस्टंट फॅसिलिटेटर हांवें ताका वॉलंटियर हांवें इल्लेशें प्रमोशन दिलां सो एसिस्टंट फॅसिलिटेटर तांकांय मोगाचो स्वागत. ह्या कार्याचो मुख्य प्रमुख उद्देश जावन आसा विमेन एम्पावरमेंट फॉर सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयमेंट. थोड्यांक हे उपकार करतले म्हूण म्हजे एक भरवसो. तुम्ही चिंतून पळोवया हे कितें कार्य अशें आयलें म्हणून. हाका कारण जावन आसा आमचो लोकां मुखार विगार. आतां ही स्टोरी सांगता ल्हानशी. विगार कित्याक कारण म्हणून विगारान आमच्या फिरगेचेंत बेजमेंट म्हणून ऑर्डर अनावन्स केलें. बेजमेंट एक दिसा जाय ते म्हणून आमी ओपल्या. बेजमेंट जाल्या उपरांत वड्यान कोणी पिडेस्त आसा जाल्यार तांच्या घरा एक मीस दवरचें म्हणून सांगलें. ताकाय आमी ओपल्या. मीस जाल्यार एक सादें जेवण जाय म्हणून लागलो. ताकाय आमी ओपल्या. पूण थंय कशें जेवण सादें म्हणलें तें पॉश जालें. पण आसूं दी ते जेवणाच्या एंडाक एक केदाळ एक जेवणाच्या एंडाक एक डेजर्ट म्हणून एक आयटम आसा. सो आमी वॉर्न ऑर्डर केलें. पूण आमचे आज प्रमुख व्यक्ती बेलिशा रेगो म्हणून लागले हांव डेजर्ट म्हज्या लेकार ऑर्डर करता वॉर्न कॅन्सल कर म्हणून. सो तेणी त्या बरोबर मुखार येतना म्हज्या मतीन एक जळकलें घालें म्हणल्यार ते आमच्या वाड्याक आतां रिसेंटली शिफ्ट जालां. ते एक अपुरब्यान एक ऑफर आमच्या वाड्याक दिताना आमी ताका कितें म्हणून फाटीं दिचें म्हणून एक आयडिया म्हज्या मतीन येतना हांवें ताचे आनी उरल्या वाड्याकारां कडेन आमच्या वॉर्ड प्रेसिडेंट उरल्या वाड्याच्या मेंबरां कडेन डिस्कस करना हे प्रोग्राम केल्यार कशें गे म्हणून. ताणें यस म्हळें आमी यस पार्टी पळोवना विगारांनी परमिशन दिलें. सो हे कार्य जावन मेन कारण आमचो विगार तो म्हणया थंयच्यान ते चेन लिंक स्टार्ट जालें. येस सो परत तुमकां सर्वांक मोगाचो स्वागत.
सर्वांक स्वागत केल्या ओडी तुकाय मोगाचो स्वागत. जरी तरी एक गुलोब आसा जाल्यार ओडी कितें गे. थँक्यू. वेलकम ओडी. सडकलायक करची नाका कित्याक म्हळ्यार मेन पार्ट ऑलरेडी स्टेजीर सोंपते आसा. पूण आमची सोबीत हस्ती तोंडां आमकां मुखार दिसतात आनी तातूंत जावन आसा वो हसोन आसची म्हळ्यार मिसेस फिलोमिना लोबो आयची आमची चीफ गेस्ट. सो आय कॉल अपॉन यू मिसेस फिलोमिना लोबो टू जस्ट डिलिव्हर your words of appreciation and message.
वेदीचेर आसल्या विगर बापानो आनी सर मानेस्तानो वेदीच्या मुखल्यान आसल्या सर मानेस्तानो म्हाका आज हांगा येवंक मुख्य कारण ऑडीन सांगलें तो हांगा एक हायटी मेनू आसा ताका एक तूं चीफ गेस्ट जावन येजे म्हणून. ताका म्हज्या मतींत एक क्वेश्चन आयलें कित्याक हांवें कांय करूं ना बेलिशान केल्ले बरी कांय करूं ना रांदचेंय करूं ना या खाल्याक अशें केलां हांव न्हू एक मतीक आयलें. तें विचारल्यार ताणें म्हाका सांगोंक ना खाल्याक म्हणून. जावं दी आज आमी एक आमकां प्रत्येक जावन स्त्रियांक आमच्या एक काळजाक लागीं जालें एक कार्यक्रम हे खंयच्या स्त्रिये कडेन विचारल्यार रांदपाच्या विशयान विचारल्यार आमकां 4-5 तोंडां येतात 4-5 हात येतात घरान सैरी येतात म्हणून सांगल्यार आमचो सगळो जीव दुसऱ्याच तरान एक एक्टीव जाता. हें सगळ्यांनी चिंतलें आमी. हांव इस्कॉलाक वताना 1975 म्हजे क्लासमेट एकले आहले ताका त्या टायमार हांवें काले म्हणी ಕುಕ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಕಾಲೆ ಮಣಿ ಕರೀಜೆ ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾನು ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಕನ್ನಡ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅಡುಗೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ನಾನು ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ते मस्त सांगतले शी इज फ्रॉम GSB कास्ट आणि ताका ते भारी एक आणले आणि SSLC जाल्ले मागीर ताका ताच्या घरांत मागीर मुखार स्टडीजांक कित्याक म्हळ्यार दुबळी काय आसली तेन्ना SSLC कंप्लीट करचे म्हळ्यार व्हडलें म्हणून आहलें ताका तितलें पुरो तुजें शिकाप तुका मागीर काजर करून घरा दुसऱ्या न्हवऱ्याच्या घरा धाडटा म्हळ्यार ताका रावयलें घरांत आनी तें चेडूं चंद्रकला म्हाका आनीकय ताचें नांव उगडास आसा ताणें आमकां आमच्या घराच्या लागीं असलें वस्तू खावंक जेवंक आनी खालें खालें कर ल्हान वस्तू ताच्या घरा करून हाडून आमकां दितालें तशें ताका ते ताणें म्हाका मेळटलें ताणें काल सांगलें म्हूण सांगल्यार हांव खालें हें रांदपाच्यान तूं हांव एक मुखार येवंक आशेता म्हणून ते दळा आमचे हॉस्पिटॅलिटी मॅनेजमेंट तली पुरो नांवांत आमी आयकुना ह्या तली कोर्स सुद्दां आमी आयकुना काले जाल्यार घरांत आनी करना आनी केदाळे पळयल्यार हॉटेलां आनी दवरची पुरो तांकां कोणी रांदतले गिंतले पुरो दादले मनीस भायर मनीस आसल्यार आमकां खंय दिसूंक येनासली सो दादल्या मनशांचे तें काम आसलें घरांत भायर मनशां रांदतात जाल्यार तेंय दादल्या मनशांचें काम आसलें तें चेडूं घरा बसून ताणें तें दळां थंय सुरू केलें ताचें कालेंगी इल्लेशें कुकींग करूंक आनी पुरो करून कोणाक दिवंक ताका इल्लेशें तें दळां पुरो 5 रुपये 10 रुपयाच्या लेखाचे पुरो तशें ताणें सुरू केलें आनी लोक गांवांत खबर जाली ताणें अशें कालें करता म्हणून आनी ताच्या सगळ्या कुटुंबान तांच्या कुटुंबाक भायर दवरलें तुमी त्या चेडवान रांदून तें कोणाक इकून जिवन करता म्हळ्यार त्या दळाचें चिंताप कशें आहलें आनी आतांचें चिंताप आमी पळया आतां आमी पळोवंक गेल्यार ताचे इतले प्रेस्टिजियस ते आनी एक आमचे प्रेस्टिजियस काम म्हणून एक नांवाडीक जाला ते दळा आनी हडल्यान जाल्ली गजाली मागीर ताणें मागीर ताच्या जिवनांत कालें केलें तें म्हाका आनी म्हाका गोत्तुना जाल्यार ते घडीत म्हाका आज हांगा सांगया म्हूण जालें आमी आतां पळोवंक गेल्यार कितलींशीं जाणां ह्या रांदपाच्या ह्या तांच्या हाताच्या एक कलान जिवन चलयत आसात कितलेशे जाणांची घरां चलोवन आसात हें बायल मनशांक विमेन एम्पावरमेंट म्हण म्हणटात पळय विमेन एम्पावरमेंट तांच्या हातांतच आसा एक सांगणी आसा कोणाच्या काळजाक लागीं जायची जाल्यार वाट खंय थावन पोटा थावनूच वाट काळजाक लागीं जाता हें खंडीत जावन नीज जावन आसा आनी खंडीत जावन हे आयचे हे कार्यक्रम मांडून हाडल्याक हांव रेगोक आनी सगळ्यांकी म्हजी शाबासकी पाठयता आनी आयिल्ली पुरा विविध रितीची खाणां गिणां पळोवन मागीर बेलिशा काम नातलें बरें जावचें नाका म्हणून म्हजी आशा की तें जावं दी तुमचें काम बऱ्या तरान तुमी आज ती करतना आमी शिकचें आनी ताची पुरो रूच आमकां केदाळे दिवंकी हांव पोवचें बरें म्हणून सांगून सगळ्यांक ऑल द बेस्ट म्हणटा थँक्यू
थँक्यू मॅम थँक्यू व्हेरी मच तुम्ही सांगले सारकें आयचें हें इव्हेंट स्त्रियांच्या काळजाक लागशिल्लें कित्याक म्हळ्यार किचन म्हळ्यार स्त्रियो म्हणून चिंतचें पूण तुमी आनीक उतर सांगले विमेन एम्पावरमेंट तेंय सारकेंच विमेन एम्पावरमेंट इतलें जालां की बायल मनशां भायर आसात आनी दादले मनीस कुजनात आसात आसा आतांच्या बिकॉज दीस इज वॉट वी हॅव विटनेस्ड इन लॉट ऑफ हावसीस सो आय होप इट डजंट गो बियॉन्ड दॅट लेट बोथ विमेन एम्पावरमेंट आसल्यार दोगांयनी हाताक हात दादलो मनीस जावं दी बायल मनीस जावं दी कुजनांत या भायर इक्वालिटी आसल्यार बरें म्हणून आमी चिंतचे थँक्यू मॅम फॉर दॅट वंडरफूल मेसेज ऑफ योर्स अँड नाव वी आर इगली वेटिंग आतां आतुरायन राखता आमी आमच्या पाद्र थावन आमच्या मोगाळ विकारांत थावन फादर वॉल्टर थावन तांचो संदेश आयकुच्याक
Nonarik Bapo Lawrence Kutina, Nonarik Bapo Vivek, आणि आईच्या कार्याचे मुखेल सैरे जावन आसचे फिलोमेना लोबो आनी डॉक्टर सरिता लोबो तशेंच ह्या कार्याचो पुरकार ऑडी रेगो सगळे मांडून हाडलो आनी आईच्या कार्यान मुखेलपण घेवन आमकां तरबेती दिवंक आसचे बेलिशा रेगो आमचो उपाध्यक्ष विनोद डिसोजा कार्यदर्शी पॅट्सी आणि विमेन कमिशन स्त्री आयोगाची संचालकी कार्यदर्शी सिस्टर शुभा आणि हांगासर हजर आसच्या मोगाळ भावांनो भयणींनो ह्या कार्यागाराचो फायदो जोडूंक आयल्या तुमकां समेस्तांक हांव अभिनंदन पाठयता. बेलिशाक सर बरें मागता आनी हांगासर आसले बी सक्कळ जे कितें शिकयतात बरें करून समजूंक या. मार्केटींत जायतीं कानां मेळटा पयशे आसल्यार कितले हाडीत पूण कितें मारेकर म्हणलें आमकां कळीत आसा आनी चड आतां कितें अवेरनेस आयला गे म्हळ्यार घरास रांदून केल्यार जेवल्यार भलायकी बरी उरता म्हणलें सगळें जें मतींत रिगलां जाता तितलें प्रयत्न करता. हे दिशेन जायतीं जाणां आतां टॅरेस खाली सोडिना, टॅरेसार कांय इल्लीशी रांदयकन आपुणूच कांय इल्लें कन्न खाता आनी भलायकी बरी दवरता जाल्यार चिंतपार आसा. आनी तें सत देखून आज एक अवकाश कितें कितें अंगडींतलें बेकरींतलें कितें मेळटा तें वीक म्हणना पूण आमच्या भलायकेक तितलें बरें न्हय आसलें आनी आमच्या बदलाक आमीच कांय इल्लें तयार करून आमच्या भलायकेच्या पसंतीचें सेवचें बरें. आतांच्या भुरग्यांक असली कानां गरज आसा देखून आयचें सेशन खंडी जावं जायत्याक ते उपकारा पडात म्हणलें म्हजी पातयेणी तशेंच जावं. दुसऱ्यान देवान आमकां रित्या हातांनी धाडूंक ना ह्या संवसार येताना जायत्या देणयांनी तालेंतांनी धाडलां. सगळ्यांक एक सारकें दिवंक ना पूण विविध तरान तें दिलां आनी कोण मेहनत करता तांकां देव राखता आनी सांबाळटा आनी उंच उबारता. आनी ह्या द्वारे आपणाचें बरेंपण अभिवृद्धी जोडच्या सांगता समाजीक कांय इल्लें दिवंक तो शकता. केन्ना आमची देणी आमी वृद्धी करता तो आमचेंय बरेंपण जाता आनी समाजाचें आमी इल्लें ऋण फारीक करता. बेलिशाक मेळिल्लें तें देणें आज हांगासर आसलें एक कार्यागर करून आपणाक कितें देवान दिलां तें बेल्याची शिको सांगितालें हांव तें शिकयना कित्याक म्हळ्यार कांय शिकोवन उरलीं पुराय शिकलीं तर आपणाक कांय इल्लें बिजनेस म्हणे जाय असलें स्वार्थी चिंतप नासतना कुशेन जें कितें आपणाक कळीत आसा हेरांक कितें शिकयता म्हणून मुखार आयला आनी अशें समाजाचें बरें जाता बरेंपण जाता आनी जायत्यांक तें फायद्याचें जावं पळोवता. आनी आमचें विसाव ह्या संवसारीत तें जें कितें देवान म्हाका दिलां तें हेरां संगी वांटून घेतना न्हयच आमी बरीं जाता देवाक महिमा लाभता. देखून आयच्या ह्या कार्यागाराक हांव सर बरें मागता देवाची दरार दिसनार आशिर्वादा मागता आनी ऑडीक हांव शबासकी म्हणटा कित्याक म्हळ्यार कांय एका म्हयन्यांत हांव ताणें गेल्ली मेसेजीस ताणें दिल्ले रिमांयडर्स पळयतना तेंचें हें कार्य मांडून हाडल्यार कितली जबाबदारी तो वावर करता म्हणलें तातूंत बरें समजता. सक्कल तयार आय बरें जायचे बदल म्हणून मस्त मेहनत काडल्या आनी ताच्या फाटल्यान ताच्या संगाता वावुरलेल्या सर्वांकी हांव अभिनंदन पळयता आनी शिकोवंक हांगासर आयल्या तुमकांय बरें मागून आयचे सगळे कार्याकर बरें जावं दी. आनी तितलें मात्र न्हय आमकां आतां मुखल्या दिसांनी पदरापाक कांय आमी तयार केल्लें पदार्थां म्हणून कांय हप्त्या 2-3 कांय डिश आयली देखून आमकांय फायद्याचें जावंक पुरो. देखून सर बरें मागता. धन्यवाद.
थँक्यू फादर. आनी तुमी ते लास्ट सांगिल्लें वय येवंक पुरो फादर कांय 2-3 दीस थँक्यू वेरी मच. आनी आतां हांव मुखार आपयता आयचें स्टार पेस्ट्री शेफ बेलिशा. Maybe you have some feelings within yourselves, you can express it.
Good evening, everybody. You will be listening to me for the next 2.5 hours, so I'm not going to take a lot of your time. All I want to say is, one thing I remember when I heard of this session is the movie English Winglish, and Sri Devi says one dialogue in that. When a woman cooks, it's responsibility, and when a man cooks, it's an art. And that is the barrier that I have. It has always rung in my mind, and that's the barrier I wanted to break. And wherever I work, may it be in a 5-star hotel during my internship, now when I work in a sushi restaurant, wherever I'm working, again, I am working under a male chef, but still I see how over time women are being recognized for their cooking ability as an art more than responsibility. And that is what I'm very grateful for, and that is what this session is doing. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Belisha. And I should say it runs, I think, in the family. Actually, I'm very proud to say that my grandmom was a beautiful cook. And today is my grandmom's birthday. And my grandmom's daughter, that's my mom, she's a wonderful cook. And then comes me, her daughter. I am not a very good cook, but I cook. And then comes my daughter, who is a chef again. So we are in the hereditary of chef line. And Mama, Granny Mama, love you. Happy birthday to you in heaven. Thank you for giving that talent of cooking. So here's your great-granddaughter today behind this stage, who will be doing a wonderful job. Thank you. And thank you one and all for being here. It was lovely having you. I should also congratulate Audi once again, and I should say a word of thanks to Sister Shubha. Ita mlatika chorus kali talingi convener on Women's Commission. So a joke aside, just tell one joke. Eklo eka baincha katte sumar log tirna sagi bitar. Ita mar eklo udarte age maka wair kada eklo tan burgo podla. त्याच्या मुलांना डाब कर वैरताने आवाज येता की आणि एकलो इल्लोसो एज टू सेकल पडटाली आणि त्या चरक्या कशे म्हणी काढून वयर उठून येऊन हा सासू करताय पुरण शाबासकी म्हणटा ती वा तू इतलो एज जाला रे तू एक बरें धैर्याचें काम केलें सेकल वचून चरक्याक वयर काडलें नाही सत्य सांगा म्हाका लोटून घाल्लें कोणे म्हणून तशें आमची सिस्टर शुभा सत्य सांगा म्हाका विमेन्स कमिशनाची बट शी इज एन एक्सिलंट कन्वीनर कित्याक म्हळ्यार आयलँड्स रिगलँड्स फस्टूच शी हॅज कोलॅबरेटेड विथ ऑडी शी सेड येस टू ऑडी वेन ऑडी सेड हें कोलॅबरेट कर विमेन्स कमिशन टू कोलॅबरेट कर हायटी करया म्हणून सो थँक यू ऑल फॉर बीइंग सो गुड ऑन युअर सीट्स अँड आय आस्क यू टू टेक बॅक युअर सीट्स and here's the next time 2 hours म्हणून आम्ही 6:30 वाजता चिंतला आणि as we are all getting settled I also want to invite Mavis who will be raising the word of thanks.
तुका सर्वांक बरी सांज म्हणटा सूर्य उदेल्लो तो बुडतामू खंयच्या घरान येता तुज्या नागी सायंटिफिकली ना रायट आय एग्री खंयचे दोन कारण आसात वन द सन सेज थँक यू लॉर्ड सेकंड थिंग द सन गिव्स एन ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी टू द पीपल दोज आर पुटिंग ऑन द लायट एट होम एज वेल एज टू द मून सो अनेक ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी दिता तशेंच आतां हांव केसर रावली हांव बिगर बापालो आनी तशेंच सहायक बिगर बापालो तकल्याचें नांव काडीचें म्हणून गरज ना तुमकां सर्वांक थँक्स म्हणूंक मात्र न्ही बेलिशाच्या नांवान ताणें आनीक ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी दिवचे खातीर एक प्रोग्राम आसा केला हांगासर बिगर बापांनी उलयतना स्लोवन उलयतना ऑडीन उलयतना तशेंच ब्लॉसमांनी उलयतना बेलिशांनी उलयतना तांणी कोणाची नांवां गरज आसा ती तांणी पुरो सर्वांक तांणी थँक्स म्हणून जालां देखून आमी थँक्स म्हणाचें म्हणून कोणाक गरज ना तरी हांगा तुमी आयल्यात दॅट इज द इम्पॉर्टंट पॉयंट तुमी सर्वांक वुमेन एम्पॉवरमेंट म्हणटा आमी वुमेन्स डे म्हणटा आमी तुमी हांगासर आयिल्ले वरवीं हें काडलें आनीक मुंदरूंक आमच्या बेलिशाक इल्लो प्रोत्साह तुमचे हांव मेळ्ळा त्या खातीर तुमकां देव बरें करूं म्हणटा आनी तशेंच विकार बापांक आनी सर्वांक आनी हांगासर थोडीशीं नांवां दिल्यात हांव चिंताय नांवांची गरज आसा की तुमकां ऑलरेडी पुरो पोस्टर घालून जाल्यार ते मेसेजीस पावल्या सर पावला आनी म्हाका बक्षिया मे सर म्हणून कितें सराव घे म्हणून नाका ओके सर बेलिशा जिल्ले आतां देखून तुमकां सर्वांक देव बरें करूं म्हणटा अत्रेगान आसा हांव चड उलोवंक नाका बेलिशा कितें करता म्हणून पळोवंक आनी तो अवकाश तुमकां दिवं देव बरें करूं
थँक्यू मेविस आम्ही गाद आयकल्याने मास्टर जॅक ऑफ ऑल मास्टर ऑफ जॅक ऑफ ऑल या मास्टर ऑफ नन म्हणटात कित्याक म्हळ्यार पुरायची माहीत आसता एकान ती आमी निपूण जावन आसना पण मास्टर ऑफ ऑल जॅक ऑफ ऑल आयका लागी दॅट इज मेविस बिकॉज आय हॅव ऑलवेज सीन हर wherever she is very efficiently she does आता वोट ऑफ थँक्स ही मोठवें पण एफिशियंटली केलें पुरायकी थँक्यू केलें पुरायकी थँक्यू केल्या मेविस तुकाय थँक्यू
Good evening, everybody. Am I audible to everyone? Am I audible? Okay. So I'm going to start. The menu is very simple. I have chosen only basic items, and I'm going to start with a simple vanilla buttercream, and then I go to vanilla cake, red velvet cupcakes, chocolate chip cookies, and then if I do get time, I will also
तुम्ही बसल्या जाग्यार स्नॅक्स दितल्या सो हांगाचे मायकाचे सारके जाता म्हणसर तुम्ही स्नॅक्स आणि ज्यूस तुमच्या जाग्यार मेळटले बॉक्सात आसा सो यू कॅन हॅव इट नाव ऑर यू कॅन हॅव इट लेटर.
beautifully decorated piece of art. The elements that go into it, however, are much more complicated. Frosting, okay, that's the outermost layer in a cake. There are n number of frostings. Okay. The one which I have picked to teach today is a simple American vanilla buttercream. Okay. In buttercream, we have 5 types, but I have chosen an American buttercream recipe. So I'm going to start with, okay. Everybody knows what this is? It's a kitchen weight scale. Do you know the maximum limit of this scale? 10 kg. Sometimes 7. Okay. So I'm going to start by adding my butter and sugar. We have to remember that when it comes to an icing or a frosting, we never go for sugar that is granulated, what we use in our tea, or castor sugar, what we use in our cake paste. We go for icing sugar. As simple name calls for itself. It's a sugar used for icing. Okay. And you choose your butter. You choose the butter which is the palest butter, the butter that's more on the white side. In Bangalore, the only company that sells the palest butter is Amul butter. Okay, so that goes into our butter. I had a whole lot of introduction and all that. I wanted to take time, but since I don't have so much time, I'm going to hurry up a bit. Anytime you want me to slow down, just please raise your hand. Anything like that. Sorry? Unsalted. Always. In any baking item, we always use an unsalted butter, never salted. Because the ratio of one dish varies from the other. The recipe or the measurements over here, but that's okay. You can always contact me for all that. Today it is just going to be about the method. Okay. So in this course, 225 grams of butter. Remember that in a kitchen, when we are doing a baked product, the key is precision. You cannot mess with the amount of ingredients that you're putting. It's not like our tadka or our Indian cooking, which is so easy. It has to be very precise. Even a little here and there can, ratios play a very important role for a reason. So, we start with in baking. This is called the creaming part. Okay? I start with creaming my butter. Without the butter is cleaned enough, I cannot put my rest of the ingredients. Okay? So, you guys know what this is? So, when we use to make a batter, there are like various kind of mixing procedures. This is called a stand mixer. And in stand mixer, we have 3 kinds of attachments. This is a this attachment. We use a dough attachment to knead doughs, like chapati dough, stuff like that. And then there is the paddle edge attachment. That's for a whole different technical stuff. I'm not going to get into that. So we start, there are 5 speeds in this. We start with low, go up to 3. Anytime you're going to come forward, have a look, you're welcome. some icing sugar. And I keep a seed. Now the thing about icing sugar is it has to be very, very smooth. Okay? The way to do that is by using what is this? A sieve. I've never been in teacher, I'm enjoying this. Okay. Anybody wants to come help out watch? You're welcome. Okay. The whole purpose of seeding is we want a smooth buttermilk. The way to achieve a smooth buttermilk is to avoid lumps, and icing sugar usually forms the highest amount of lumps compared to any other dry food. The reason being, in a sweet, it catches moisture really soon and forms into lumps. That's why it's best that baking mostly is best done in a cool environment. This goes back to this. Now we're going to do it at very low speed because we don't want all the sugar to go. At this point, we have something just to keep you occupied. We're gonna, if anybody wants to, participate, you just raise your hand, okay? So my mom's going to place a question in front of you. You think long and hard about the right answer, then you get something.
Okay, this is for those who have celebrated their birthdays in Jan and Feb. Anyone here? Jan and Feb? You can stand. Only those who have celebrated their birthdays in Jan and Feb, please stand. Don't worry. It's just a question, you have to answer it. Now, I know you all are women, so you all are disciplined. And a discipline would now make a question, an answer goes to Bomari Nakata. Hath to wear okay? Hath wear keller? Deepak, hath wear. Hath wear करूचे, हात वयर केल्यार आन्सर गोत आसल्यार आनी मागीर we pick the prize. First question to you. Tiramisu taste केला, सट्टा पुराय taste करता. Tiramisu uses what beverage as a flavoring agent? Only if you know. The ones who are standing. Tiramisu तो कलिंग एक beverage helper. Beverage बड़ा काले होता है. पियों ची एक वस्तु. Yes, auntie, I think you come here, huh? Coffee, yes, right. She had to tell that answer. Yes, auntie, please come up. And Audi, this day I think I money sutura Audi. Round of applause. It's true. Coffee is the beverage. Thank you. Next question, Maggie.
go to adding our next ingredient into this, I just want to show you how our buttercream looks. It's nowhere close to cream, but it's a powder. Okay. So one thing in baking is, between each procedures, you may think a lot of things are going wrong, but it is the right opposite. Okay, and the only thing you can do during the procedure is trust the procedure. Okay, don't go back or throw your ingredients or start over again. Just trust the procedure and complete your baked product. Okay. Next, we go to add a little cream. Again, in baking, there are various types of cream. There is heavy cream, there is fresh cream, there is whipping cream. I am using whipping cream for my buttercream. Okay, and that's 0.5 ml. Goes 1 tablespoon of vanilla essence.
Cream, how much you added?
Sorry?
Cream, how much you added?
Cream 45 ml. Whipping cream, not fresh cream.
Whipping cream, how much you added?
45 ml.
ml.
Yeah, ml.
How you measure it?
Okay. So this is in the measuring scale. Okay. This is the most common type of measuring scale we have. Okay. So here is the on button. Alright. Always. Okay. When you measure, see to it that the display shows 0. Okay. Basically, you have to tear it. Okay. Between each ingredient. Now I wanted 45 ml of cream, right? So I placed my vessel. The vessel weight will be there. I press tear. There's this button there. Okay. I press that button and bring it down to 0. Okay. Do not bake in an environment where there's fan, wind, air. No. It has to be AC. It has to be very cool. Because otherwise, even in the AC, window of the AC shouldn't be there. Because see, the issue that I'm facing is from 0 it keeps fluctuating 1 or 2 grams here. Okay. So I add my cream 45 ml. After that, again I press there and I add 1 tablespoon of vanilla essence. Okay.
The question is, it is gram, no? Like it weighs gram and kgs, right?
Yes.
How ml is weighed is the question.
Oh, that was your question.
Yeah.
I am sorry. Now, my scale doesn't have it, but there is this button mode, okay? That changes, okay, from fluids to dry ingredients. Now, fluids uses ml, okay, and dry ingredients use grams. Sometimes, some recipes, fluids also calls for measurements in grams. Do not get confused between the two, okay? And the difference is very, very negligible. The measurement keeps changing. I think there is air somewhere. I said 1 tablespoon, but why did I measure? Because by now I know the conversion table at the tip of my lip. The conversion table is for each ingredient grams into grams to cups, grams to tablespoon, gram to teaspoon. Okay. There is a conversion table. If you don't have tablespoons and teaspoons, because for baking we use measuring spoons and measuring cups. We do not use the regular teaspoon and tablespoon which we have. No. So this goes back here. last but one step. So why did I put the whipping cream is for the texture, okay? And for the sweetness, we don't want our product to be too sweet. We don't want our product to be very dense, okay? And every once in a while, you have to scrape down the sides of the bowl because the ingredients tend to remain on the side. While it is still whistling, we bring it down to speed 2, okay? And while it is on speed 2, I am adding half teaspoon of salt. Anyone can tell me why I am adding salt? It's basically for the same reason we add salt to any other Indian dish to enhance the taste. But there is another reason for it to not be too sweet, okay? So now the icing has turned into a very smooth texture. If anybody wants to come and have a look, you can do so. Next we are going to vanilla butter cake. So always remember, once we have this our cream is very, very airy. What does airy mean? So there are a lot of these air pockets. Okay, we basically want to rule out all these air pockets because when we are frosting our cake, we want a smooth finish. Okay? And this took me about 5 years to master. So this is not going to happen in just 1 or 2 go. If it does, please contact me. I would love to know how you did that. Alright. How many of you have tried a basic butter sponge at home? Basic vanilla butter sponge. Nobody? Wait, who raised their hands? Okay. Wow, wonderful. Okay, fine. So, the basic ingredient that goes into it. What are the 4 basic ingredients that go into it? Butter, maida, eggs,
Baking soda.
baking soda, sugar, or vanilla essence. Alright. Anybody adding anything else other than these? So vanilla milk, cocoa powder.
Enhance the taste.
That's the first time.
It enhances the taste.
Ah, okay. Alright. Any other ingredient? Milk, okay. Very close to where I'm getting. So in my vanilla butter cake, over the years, what I discovered is, I make a butter cake, so I don't add oil. But this takes it to a whole other level. Okay? We're going to make the batter and we're going to bake, but it's not going to cool down really soon. So I have pre-baked and raw. Okay? Anybody wants to make the cake? Other than the ones we've already done. Anybody wants to make? I'll be there the whole time assisting. Anybody wants to make? And divide it into 3 steps. Anybody wants to come up with the second step number 1? Maybe like measuring the ingredients. Wonderful. Please come forward. Step number 1 would be whisking and bringing together the dry ingredients. We're going to start with flour. So we're going to add 156 grams of flour. 156. Next we add the baking powder. Baking powder will be half a tablespoon. Now the other 10. Add the divisions. Now I don't have my tablespoon here, but 1 teaspoon is almost as good as half tablespoon. So 11 teaspoons. We need a teaspoon. And then we add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 1/4 teaspoon will be that. Okay. You want to stay with me for the next step, or shall we get somebody else? Anybody else wants to come for the second step? Anyone? Okay, then I'll continue with that. Okay. The next step, we're going to use the cleaning method of butter and sugar. So I want you to add 115 grams of butter. Alright, into our butter, we put sugar. Now what sugar do we use for cake base? I told you there are many types of sugar, right? So what sugar do you think we use for our cake base? Exactly, yeah. Alright. So we're going to use 150 grams of
Okay, let's go with the second question. So, those who are celebrating their birthdays, March and April. Anyone here celebrating in March and April? Okay. That's it? 4 of you? 5? 6? Okay. March, when did you celebrate? Because March we have just begun. Anyone has finished celebrating? Yet to. So only after this. Okay. So the question. Which vegetable, lady's finger, is also another name for which vegetable? Only raise your hands, huh? Lady's finger is another name for which vegetable? We all know lady's finger. Raise your hands. Okra, yes. Yes, Sheila, that's right. And if we have, Mrs. Patsy, you can come and just give this to Sheila. Okra is an English name. Yeah, let's clap. Thank you.
Once that is done, do we want our cake to be smelling? No, right? That is it. What do we do to cut our smell? Vanilla. Exactly. So we will add 2 teaspoons of vanilla essence. Now because I'm making a very small batch, I'm adding both the eggs. Now say I add like 5 or 6 eggs, I would do it 2 at a time or 1 at a time. Somebody asked why? No? Why? Okay, why? Because it's not going to beat. The whole thing is not going to come together as a block. It's going to take a lot of time, and you never know, you will even miss out mixing one egg yolk. Okay? Because egg yolks usually repeat. It's very difficult to get them all mixed up together. So always 1 at a time. Now that it's a small quantity, it is sufficient. While this is happening, I'm going to make my buttermilk. So the buttermilk which we use for our baked products is not the store-bought one, because we do not have store-bought buttermilks used for baked goods. We make our own. How do we do that? There's a simple formula for that. Yeah, 150 ml of milk and 20 ml of vinegar. Did you get it? 150 ml of milk and 20 ml of vinegar. Okay? Now, wish the camera could shoot this minute away.
very pleasant look, and some of you can really get confused at this. As I said, trust the procedure. Do not panic at any moment because the recipe will never make it go wrong. So you scrape down the sides of the bowl and you bring the batter together. Okay? 20 minutes. Yay. At this point, we stop eating and we the next method of mixing that we're going to use is the method of folding it. Now, at this point, we stop eating. Anybody knows why? See, the batter looks like this. Again, not very presentable, but still hang on till you finish. Okay. At this point, no more beating, only folding. Why? Anybody can tell me? Alright. So it's because we do not want to make a lot of form or dough that is very dense. Okay. Now what happens when you keep beating once you have added the dry ingredients is it's too incorporated. And when it is too incorporated, it becomes very dense. That's why we use a folding method. I'll show you how that is. First, we add all our dry ingredients. Okay, so folding works this way. Is this better? Yeah. Okay. We fold, we cut. We fold, we bring the whole thing together and we cut. Okay? At this point, you stop, okay? Now, it doesn't look much like a batter, but why we stop is, we have our last ingredient, that is our butter, okay? So, we're going to pour in 120 ml of butter, alright? Now again, we fold.
I use a circular tin. Okay. But today I have brought loaf tins for baking over here. Okay. And we're going to use the loaf tins that look like this. This is basically a bake and serve. Now, if anybody ever plans on starting cook at home and sell business, I always suggest you use a bake and sell product because it's a very tedious job to line your vessels, to bake, to remove, to cool, wash them. Okay, always bake and serve is the best way to go about it. Okay? So, tea cakes are usually served in a bake and serve loaf tin. Back of the spoon to scoop it out. Okay. Once that's done, then you pack it. Okay. Because we want all the air bubbles to go. So now that we are done with the cake, we are going to go ahead to, we can either go for cookies or muffins. What do you all prefer? Okay. What do we do first? Muffins? Alright. Everybody has an oven at home? Or how many of you all have an oven at home? Alright, fine. Okay. For those who don't, an oven has three major parts to take care of. An OTG, with an OTG, that is oven which has, this is smaller. So we have convection and convection. Okay. Now for commercial use, what we use is a whole different kind, and the technicality of that is different. But a home baker uses a 60-liter one. Okay. Preferably 40 liter, 60 liter. That's the maximum I suggest you use. Okay. There are three things here. At the temperature we use to bake. So you can see three knobs. You can see these three knobs here.
Yes.
All right. So one is for temperature. One is for the kind of setting. By setting I mean there are two rods up and down. Okay. The heating, okay, of upper rod will give heat primarily from the top. The same goes with bottom. And then there is the heat that comes from both down and up. Preferably go for the one where the heat goes from bottom up. Okay? And then last is the timing. So my vanilla cake is going in at 170-degree heat for 20 minutes first. And then I check how much more I might require. Okay? My oven is super old and I haven't used it in a long time, at least since I stepped into a commercial kitchen. That's why it looks like this. Preheat, yeah. You have to always preheat at 180-degree for 10 minutes and then you reduce the temperature to whatever you want. Okay? Alright. Now we head back
Okay. What do you want to do next? Thank you, Auntie. Okay. Muffins, right? Okay, we are not going to do muffins, we are going to do cupcakes. There's a huge difference, okay? Muffins are more dense, big in size, quantity as well as price. Okay, a quarter kg cake and one muffin almost cost the same, honestly speaking. And with muffin, you always have some ingredients like chocolate chips, nuts, fruits, berries that go into the batter itself. Okay, when it comes to cupcakes, you have a frosting, and on the frosting goes whatever you want to add, like chocolate chips, nuts, or whatever. Sometimes also we add fillings inside the cupcake. So anybody wants to come to my red velvet cupcake. So my red velvet cupcakes are one of the most famous cupcakes. I had to really convince myself to get the recipe out. Okay. Alright. First, we start with mixing the dry ingredients. Okay, the dry ingredients are 180 grams of flour, 8 grams of cocoa powder. Okay? You can use the same spoon. Dip with the whole thing. Then you need to put more. And entire tablespoon. 8. Yeah. 118. Flour is 118. 180. Grams of cocoa powder and we put 40 teaspoons of salt. You can just pinch it. Yeah, that's good. Next we go to the cleaner method. Okay, so it comes back to 0. We're going to put in 135 grams of butter. Okay. To this we add sugar, 125 grams of sugar. $125, 125 grams of sugar.
So unlike simple butter cake, unlike a cake that we make, okay? For cupcake, I'm going to use the eggs first one, okay? Butter, sugar, eggs, all go together. Butter. You want to hold the eggs. Yeah. Start. 1 to 3. Stand up for a minute and then you can increase it to 5. Yeah? Yes, definitely. Okay. Yeah. So you can use the hand mixer for this, no doubt. Okay. But the way it works, see, with the beater, you get to select the frequency. But with this, the bowl is in a standstill position, right? So you have to keep scraping, and you don't have control over the aeration. So that's the difference between a beater and this. Anyways, we'll be using the beater later on, so that time we'll get a better picture. It's long. Now, if you were alone in the kitchen, you would freak out at how this looks, right? You can see, no? Looks like a bad buttermilk or something. But I'm going to tell you, trust the process. Always. Scrape the bowl because you don't know what ingredient you could be missing out. Okay? Alright. Next, into a bowl, okay, there's buttermilk, the leftover buttermilk, okay, which is approximately exactly how much I want. 1.5 tablespoon of buttermilk. To that, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. 1 teaspoon, yes. Buttermilk is 1.5 tablespoons. Yes. Now, we're going to use red food color. I think many of you must have heard about the ongoing news about color, right? So I'm kind of breaking the rule by bringing this color. But if I would be using this in my commercial kitchen, I would be in big trouble. Why? Because there are 3 types of colors: powder, gel, and solution. Solution is basically liquid. Okay. Always go for paste or the gel one. Okay, because it is safe and it follows all the FSSAI requirements in preparation. Whereas solution, which is our liquid, and powder is not like that. It's very condensed and not at all good. Okay. So I put color in on this. Okay. I think since for starters I can say approximately 1 teaspoon of color is required. Yeah.
color will differ. That's why by now I have learned the others. Okay. I'm going to add the liquid to my solution. So as I said, I'll be using 1.5 tablespoon. Okay. So after adding the vanilla and the color, I'm pretty sure it's 2 tablespoons. We're going to allow this to mix for some time. Okay? Now that time I told you the difference, the thing about cakes is when you add the dry ingredients you fold, right? You don't mix because we want an airy, fluffy cake sponge. But with cupcakes that's not the case, okay? So we don't really need to fold, we can directly put the dry ingredients. All the dry ingredients. Which can measure that. Yeah. We start slow because otherwise all the dry ingredients just it's the same.
Okay, here comes the time for the third question. Now the birthday month is May and June, I suppose. Yeah, so all those who are celebrating in May and June can stand up. Actually, it is my mom. We have all those who are born in May. Oh my God, there are so many. Even I am in May, even Belisha is May. Okay. The question is, you all know what is falafel? Falafel? Huh? Okay. Now, there is one main ingredient, typically main ingredient which is used in making that falafel. Raise your hands. Only those. Yes, please come in the front. Kabuli chana. It's called chickpeas actually. Yes. And I saw Sister Shubha. She went? Okay. See, she's here. You better check your specs now.
She walked out that time. I'm not in the well, okay?
Thank you, sister. Please come and let us say this from sister. Thank you.
Sister, but you walked out that time, sister. You must have made walked out that time. What's your hurry? Now to a bit of an interesting part. I like to call this the chemistry of kitchen because I was never good at chemistry. I didn't even like it. Okay. I do not have a smaller bowl, which I regret now, but it's okay. So finally, see, a red velvet cake is very different than other cakes because of the tanginess and because we add the cocoa powder, okay? This is not really, like, when you see a red velvet, that's not the first thing that comes to your mind. That's the whole, the flavor thing that differs from other cakes, okay? So, the last and final step is, okay, we're going to keep this beating at first and second speed, okay? As we do that, into this bowl I'm adding half teaspoon of soda bicarb or cooking soda, okay? And 3/4 teaspoon of vinegar, okay? So, I don't know if you can see, is that visible enough? Yes. Okay. So, you see a little sizzle thing it does? I mean, when you do it at home, it's much more interesting because you can't see it over here. You add this via the beater. That would be our final step. When the batter looks like this, it's done. Okay? Alright. So, I'm going to quickly distribute it in my muffin tins. Now, I have not brought cupcake tins. I brought muffin tins, although these are cupcakes. I prefer, so there are a number of ways you can put it in your cupcake tin, but I prefer the spoon method. Okay? So, I take this much, push it in to the other side. And then almost half of it. Okay? And that's how much it should be. Okay? Want to do the rest? Anybody? Anybody wants to try? Okay, if not, it's okay. We will go to our next thing, which is cookies. I definitely want to volunteer for this because it's interesting. Yeah.
No, cooking soda. Yeah, yeah. For cupcakes, we do not want baking powder because it doesn't need a rising agent. But cakes, we do need a rising agent. But some cupcakes do call for rising agent, like baking powder. Some just baking soda. Anybody wants to come for cookies? Or should I just give an opportunity for all the kids? Alright, Auntie, I know you want to come. Okay. Okay? We'll do one thing. Whoever is the eldest kid or something like that, come to make the dough, then the rest of the kids can all come for the rolling part and to make the cookie actually. This goes on for baking later on. Since the temperature of cookies and cupcakes is similar, I will put it in together later on. Okay? Alright. So now for the cookies. We're going to be making chocolate chip cookies today. First, the butter has become quite soft because it's been out. But what I suggest is use the butter directly from the fridge. Okay. Sorry? Yeah, for cakes and cupcakes at room temperature because the baking process becomes easy. But for cookies, since you have to bring the dough together with your hands, definitely, but if it's a big dough, we use the beater. We want a dough, not a batter. So whenever we are making a batter, we want a room temperature, not just butter. We want all the ingredients at room temperature. That when we are doing anything like cookies or tablets or quiche or something like that, we are going to be using a dough for which we need refrigerated butter. Basically, any dairy has to be refrigerated. Okay. So first, 115 grams of butter, 115. Next, we are going to add 50 grams of sugar. Then we add grams of brown sugar. In brown sugar we have variety. I am using demerara sugar. Okay, there is light brown sugar, there is dark brown sugar. I am using demerara sugar. Okay, this is like one of the messiest but one of the tastiest sugars. 100 grams. Okay. Ingredients except for egg and vanilla essence, all the ingredients go into your bowl, okay, especially since it's a small quantity. If it was not a small quantity, I would stop at this, bring the dough together, then I would add the dry ingredients, okay. So the next ingredient is flour, 188 grams of flour. Then we use half a teaspoon of soda, bicarb, half a teaspoon of baking powder and half teaspoon of salt. So half teaspoon of all three: baking powder, baking soda and salt. Now we're going to use the everybody's favorite method of bringing the dough together, the chapati dough way, your hand, okay?
Usually the way to find out a cake is done is you use a toothpick, you prick it right in between, okay? I forgot to get, but by now I know the texture of when it's done when I press the cake, okay? So if it bounces back, it's done.
So whenever we are making dough, maybe for a tart, maybe for a cookie or a biscuit, we use the crumbling method, okay? We use our gloves to first crumble the whole thing. We use a proper claw method to crumble the whole thing. And then once it's all come together, we add the egg, okay? Now for this, the thing with the egg is, egg which we use in baking, the measurement goes, one egg is supposed to be 47 grams, okay? Sometimes because of temperature, because of the size of the egg, okay, or the breed, there are so many factors that can affect. Because of all these factors, the amount of egg used can be more or less. So first what I like to do is beat the egg separately and then add it into the dough, okay? And I add half of the egg first, and if I'm able to bring the dough together, I don't add more. Otherwise, I add the rest of it, okay? It's like powdery enough, okay? Then we add the egg to bring it together, alright? It should be like this, a powder. Okay, into one egg, I'm adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Use a fork or a small whisk to bring it together. Then I'm going to add like 3/4 of it. Okay? Yeah. This part. Quickly bring it together. Okay? If you're comfortable using your hand, you can do that. Yeah, no problem. We have at least like 3 or 4 volunteers, preferably the younger ones, okay? Once the dough is so like this, okay, it's no more crumbly, it's come together, right? We don't want the rest of the egg. Because of the heat in macro, it comes together really easy. But it's not like that in a cold country. So cold country recipe ingredients are, it can vary when it comes to India, okay? Especially given the quality of our ingredients. I don't mean like our quality is less or better. I mean like it is different, right? Okay. Now what I want you to do is, 40 grams of dough. Press it lightly and keep it on the tray. Oh, you're going to wash your hands. You have to do that now. Okay. So, since this is a chocolate chip cookie, sometimes what I do is I add the chocolate chip into the dough. Sometimes I add the chocolate chip over the cookies. What do you all want me to do? Inside or just the top? Inside? Alright. Should I do half and half? Yeah. I always like to use a mixture of dark chocolate chip and milk chocolate chips, okay? Just one flavor will either be too sweet or too dark, okay? Quantity totally depends upon you. You can start. How many of you all have done a birthday cake of frosted egg cake? Nobody? Nobody, okay. So that's frosted egg. Alright, when the kids are doing this, I'll give it over to mom. Done with that, you can use
So the birthday month I think is now July and August. So all those are celebrating their birthdays in July and August, yes, can stand up. This is a very easy question. All have eaten tofu, or you know how you make a tofu. Very different from paneer. Now, raise your hand if you know which is that basic ingredient which tofu is made. I think she raised first. Soya bean. Yeah. Your name? Pamela. Pamela, please come in the front. I think Iril, you can come front now to keep. Because I saw you, Iril. Didn't see you going out. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I think there is a longer process. So then we go to the birthday month of September and October. Wow. Okay. Good to see children. Good to see. All have eaten pizzas. Okay. So we have this Margherita pizza, and it has traditionally only 3 toppings. Traditionally, it has only 3 toppings. Those who know those 3 toppings, yeah. You can come here. I want the traditional 3 toppings, okay? Then you have a lot of toppings. Okay? Sauce, basil and cheese, right? It's actually tomato sauce, mozzarella cheese and fresh basil. Yes. Father Vivek, I saw you here. Father, please come and give this prize to, what's your name? Jocelyn. Yeah, wow. Pizza is getting flat. Thank you.
Alright, when that is happening, this is a bit of an interesting part. Since you told me that nobody over here has ever frosted a cake, I'm going to go ahead and stir with this. Okay? So the cake is baked. Okay, once you've made the batter, bake the cake, it's cooled down. It's always a 1 full day process. You pull the cake, you remove it from the tin, okay? Always have a cling wrap at home because it's handy, okay? And it's handy for day-to-day use, okay? If you can't find a vessel, just throw your ingredients in the cling wrap and put it in the fridge. It makes fresh like forever. So, cling wrap your cake once it was completely cooled down and you put it in the fridge overnight, okay? Alright. You must not have made a cake, but you all must have watched a lot of videos, right, of the cake being frosted. So can you tell me, like, do you all know what are the elements, the 4 basic elements that go into the preparation of a frosted cake? One of these already know. That's okay. Anyways, thank you, you did a great job. Okay. I'll give you a minute. Meanwhile, I'm going to put this, both the cupcakes as well as cookies to bake. Okay? Now, the thing about the temperature for these is these are smaller items, right? Even the temperature has to be smaller, lesser. Okay? It has to be somewhere between 150 and 170. It varies, okay? Mine is going to be at 160 degrees. And timing again differs. I'm going to start with 10 minutes. These never take more than 10 to 15 minutes at this size, okay? Cupcakes never take more than 20 minutes, okay? Anyone wants to make the cake? Yeah. Okay. So you all have watched, right? The cake being made. Do you all know the elements? Okay. First of all, the cake base, which you all have prepared. Secondly, after keeping it in the fridge overnight, it's not going to remain the same fluffy, nice cake it was, okay? Keep it in the fridge for stability, but there is like a small collateral damage because no more fluffy. what we do at this point is we scrape the top off 2 reasons. One, to make it even. Secondly, we're going to put sugar syrup, okay, not a lot, medium amount, so that it becomes soft, okay. Okay, I suggest you all always stick to a simple syrup, which is the ratio is 1:1. If you're adding 100 ml of water, 100 grams of sugar, okay? You can boil it and then cool it and refrigerate it. Use it for almost a week, okay? Decorate a cake, a lot more tools go into it and a lot more time. But I haven't brought any of that. I'm not even going to use any of that because today I'm going to teach you how to make a naked cake. Okay? Now what does a naked cake mean? It basically means not a lot of frosting goes around it. Okay? It just you can like partly see the cake and partly the frosting. Okay? That way even the frosting is less. So maybe next time you order your cakes and you don't want it to be too sweet, you can just order a naked cake. Now that it is almost even, okay? It's almost even, correct? And it's also very accessible for the water to go in, alright? Take a brush, okay? And you put the strokes from the side to in between, okay? When you touch it, okay, if you can see the water, okay, it means it is soaked enough, okay. You over soak it and it becomes too sweet and that's not very pleasant. Next we go to the butter cake. So our fridge, and so it has stayed aerated. Okay, so that's why I've added milk. Basically, you can add any kind of liquid, any fresh cream or milk or whipping cream or heavy cream, any of these 4 liquids, okay, to make the frosting less airy and more smooth. Alright. I'm going to put approximately this much. And then using my spatula, I will evenly distribute it. Alright. This one. Anybody wants to watch at this stage, you all can come around. So next, we place this cake on top of this one. Okay. Now, since this is the surface is the most straight it could be, I place this on top. Okay. Then. Then I go to the size. Okay, when I go to the size, I told you it's a naked cake. So I'm not going to be applying a lot of frosting. The cake is going to be very visible. Mostly when I get birthday orders or anniversary orders of these senior citizens, they prefer a not so sweet cake. So then I send them pictures of naked cake and they prefer that. Okay, when it comes to smoothing of the side and the top of the cake, there are so many videos. Like it's a process that takes a lot of trials. I'm going to show you something a little different. Using the back of the spoon, I'm going to do this. Okay? Push and pull, push and pull. Okay? As a beginner, if you are really planning on having a career or even a small bake-at-home business, I prefer you start with simple designs like this, which still looks elegant and pretty, okay? Because I'm telling you, I'm an excellent baker. I can vouch for the taste of my product, but my designs, I still struggle with it, okay? I mean, I have a team that backs me up, but there are a lot of things that I still struggle with, and one of them is decorating my cakes. But there are a lot of simpler ways to do that, okay? One of them is this. Now, at this point, you can add anything on the sides of your cake or on the top of your cake. Like now, a red velvet cake is getting ready, right? I'm going to crumble that and add on the side. You can add chocolate chips on the side. Why it is like that is, it's, as I said, it's hot, right? First of all, it's hot. Secondly, we didn't get enough time to put it in the fridge. It has to go in the cookies always between baking and preparation, always has to go in the fridge for 15 minutes. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Alright. Thank you. Okay, anyways, with that we almost come to the end of the session. I wanted to do two more things, but I'm pretty sure you're going to go back, you'll have plans to end the weekend, so I'm not going to keep you all for any longer. So just wait for the cupcakes to bake if that's not a lot. Yeah. I wanted to One is hot chocolate, another is watermelon and feta cheese salad. But we can't do that now since there is no time. Unless if you all are okay with spending another 20 minutes. You want to make the salad? Oh, okay.
Okay, if that's the thing, then let me ask a question on the salad only. I think those are celebrating birthdays on November and December, last, fine. Anyone celebrating November and December, this is on the salad, okay? The 4 ingredients what I'm going to mention are of the top class salad, which is done throughout the world. So just raise your hands. The ingredients that go in this salad are celery, apple, walnuts and grapes. Celery, apple, walnuts and grapes. What's this famous salad? Just raise your hands. Celery, apples, walnuts and grapes.
Russian.
It's like it's here or it's here and it's not coming here.
Russian.
Yes, Lynette?
Caesar salad.
Caesar salad, no.
Russian.
Pardon?
Russian salad.
No, not Russian. Because celery is not there in Russian. And in Caesar, yes, Waldorf salad. I knew somewhere I will have to get this. Waldorf salad. Because celery is there. And yeah, apple is also there. Apple also goes in Russian and but yeah. Yes. So Mavis, Audie's wife, Mavis, no, she's not come. Then I'll only give it to her.
Alright, so I'm going to teach you all how to make a watermelon and feta cheese salad, okay, quickly. I should tell you all, I hate making salads. There's so much of cutting. It's so time consuming and I can't eat the salad every time, every once in a while. It has to be a different salad every day, something like that. So, why I'm teaching you all this salad is because my mom in the beginning mentioned, right, so the cooking, the whole culinary thing is in our bloodline. And she's not so much of a kitchen person. But the one thing she first learned, and by now she is an expert at, is salads. And by now she has at least 100 salad recipes. She has a book with at least 100 salad recipes, and we call her the salad queen of the family. Anyways, this is one of the simplest salad recipes she has, and she makes one for me every day. That's like a contract I've given her. We're going to start. You're going to help me because, as I said, I don't like to do this. It's okay, I make my husband sit for salads every day. That's there today. Okay, anybody wants to come? So, things that go into a watermelon salad, watermelon feta cheese salad is the basic two that's mentioned, watermelon, or feta cheese. Any kind of cheese you use, preferably go for the Delecta brand, okay? And then this is my mom's secret dressing. English cucumber, not our Gaunche cucumber and all. It has to be English cucumber. Fresh and freeze, okay? Alright. So, it's not so much of a secret. It's a very simple Italian dressing. Honey, lemon, either lime or apple cider vinegar. Not both, only one of the two. So, lime, honey, olive oil, okay? And you beat it well. To that, add salt. Preferably go for a Himalayan pink salt. That's the tastiest. And this thing called salad mix. Okay. Alright. Anybody wants to come and boil the melon? Anybody wants to learn? Yeah. I have to. Both of you can come. Don't worry. cheese, if you're using cream cheese for cheesecake, if you're using that's all.
Olive oil, honey.
Auntie, you can come. Our cupcakes are ready. Red velvet cupcakes. Can somebody tell me the difference between a biscuit and a cookie? A biscuit and a cookie. What's the difference?
A biscuit is flat, cookie is raised a little.
Sorry.
A biscuit is flat,
Right.
and a cookie is a little raised with the.
Okay, I think you're getting there. So basically, a biscuit is naturally supposed to be hard, crispy. Okay, a cookie is a soft cake-like consistency. Cookie is really big. Okay, almost double that size. But I didn't go to make it big size. It has to be. So I made the kids do 40 grams, but it's supposed to be 80 grams cookies always, and it's supposed to be at least this huge. Okay, a proper traditional cookie. Biscuits are more like how we get in our bus bakery. Are okay. Yeah. I think if your can't cook anymore, we can stop at this because I don't have a lot of feta cheese. It's okay. I can make juice out of that or something because I have very little feta cheese. Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much. Okay, somebody wants to come to crumble your feta cheese? Anybody wants to crumble feta cheese? No, okay, fine. I'll go for it. So, it's a dirty, smelly part of the salad, but you have to do it. Break it and add it. watermelon, feta cheese, mint leaves, and English cucumber. I'm going to be adding the salad dressing. Okay, before that I'll just give it a toss. So if you want to make dressing, small batch, I prefer you bring something small like this, add all your ingredients and shake it, okay? If you're making a big batch, use a big bowl and use a whisk. I'm the lazy type, so I just put it in a blender and just pass it once. That gets the job done. So I did not bring frosting tip, frosting bag, nothing, because if I get into the subject of frosting, it's never ending. So I'm going to use simply the back of a cake lifter. The thing is, I'm hurrying because we don't have time, but otherwise I always suggest you allow the cupcake to completely cool down, because I see my frosting is melting and I'm not able to get the desired shape, so I'm just going to keep it simple. wanted to show you how to do a hot chocolate, but that's okay. We don't have time, but it's not a very difficult procedure also. So. Next slide. Frosting is not staying on the cupcakes, of course, given the fact it's really hot right now. So I'll just keep this as it is around it. Okay, so here we end our high tea menu. That's our vanilla loaf, chocolate chip cookies, a birthday cake, a very simple one, even a toddler can start with that, a watermelon and feta cheese salad, and a red velvet. You can treat it as a cupcake or a muffin. Now, I know all can't have everything, but if you all want to come and taste, come, I will give you all a little bit of everything at least, okay? Because you should always get to taste so that you all can always, go back to, come back to this and we recognize that is it matching. Like I would always eat what my teacher have taught me. So shall I cut? Are you wishing somebody? Is there anything?
Thank you, Belisha. Thank you for all these classes. And she's just begun. So you all can take her number if you all want. It is 9148 906818. 9148 906818. Of course, if you have my number, you can ask me, I'll give you her number. And whenever she starts her classes, as of yet, she's not done anything individually. What I mean to say is, she still doesn't, she doesn't own a bakery as such to keep any classes right now. But her next project is that one thing, her dream is to have her own. So very shortly and very soon it will come to pass. That's because God is mightily blessing her. And once that's done, she will definitely start her classes of all this baking and everything what she's into. So till then, if you want to get in touch with her for any kind of birthday cakes, wedding cakes, any kind of cakes or muffins or whatever bakery stuff, she's got a menu, so you can take her number or I will repeat 9148 9068 18. And one more reason I gave you this number is you can please give your feedback to the same number about this event. Okay? You can give your feedback to her as well about this event. And for this event, I again want to thank Mr. Roddy because he has given Belisha this platform. I'm very sure Belisha also wants to tell the same to you. Roddy, thank you very much. She just stepped into our ward and you recognized her talent. You also said the reason why you recognized her talent. So Belisha, from your side, I've thanked him and I'm sure you would have done the same. Thank you, Roddy. Thank you for that. And we will just end this event with a Thanksgiving hymn. Can we all rise up? Come to Kasomia, come to Kadania, come to Ata Anisasna. Tu el makaros roi tu somo kerja.
तुवे म्हाका मोसलोय तुजी साखरी करच्या तुवे म्हाका विसलोय सत्संग सुखा पावच्या तरी हांव फावो न्हय सौम्या हांव फावो न्हय अर्गां तुका सौम्या अर्गां तुका धनिया अर्गां तुका आतां आनी ससना.
Thank you one and all. And I must thank Diane, my niece, my sister's daughter. And Diane, we never knew you're such a good assistant to Belisha. Thank you very much.
You can come to take pictures, you can come to clear your doubts, and right here, you can please taste.